family safe. I wish no ill intent upon them. I don't think that she would have tried to hide or have a hand in, hiding, what her husband did that night in question. But I think that he may have some fears that she may know something, and he's probably scared that eventually she's going to tell the truth. Or maybe she came across something that now she knows what really happened. I just think the timing, I know that it's been a lot of weight on the family as a whole, to go through a trial like that, but I think the timing is very coincidental. It's suspect that all of a sudden now she wants a divorce. They went through a lot of stress, but now is the time they should be pulling together, putting their marriage back together, and trying to go on with their lives. Mrs. Zimmerman has been stopped in Texas, speeding. He was stopped, given a warning that time. Now he was caught speeding again in Florida. He has some very strange activities. He went and did a visit or a tour at the plant that manufactured the pistol that he shot and killed Trayvon Martin with. I don't know if that's thumbing your nose or what you're doing, George Zimmerman, but I will tell you this: your actions are very bizarre. You are not above the law. You can't take your weapon and brandish it and threaten your own family. And if he has this amount of disrespect for his own wife and his father-in-law, then I think it's safe to say that that young man that night in question, that he would have had tenfold that degree of disrespect and anguish towards this young kid. So a lot of people were turned off when Trayvon Martin made, or when his young friend Rachel made the statement about the creepy ass cracker comment that she said Trayvon had stated. And a lot of people were turned off. I'm saying white people, not just a lot of people. They were turned off and disengaged. Any support that they showed for the young man, it diminished at that point when they heard the comment that he had made. And again, I know it's a disrespectful thing for him to say towards white people, but I think more importantly what white people didn't hear is the young man was scared. When you say creepy, creepy means scary. A person is scared if they say something is creepy. And I'm from Florida originally, and the word cracker is commonly utilized in the South, just as the word nigger is used in the South. Unfortunately, I don't justify either of the two, but the kid was scared, and I feel that George Zimmerman obviously overreacted. He was the adult in that equation, and he should have handled things differently. More importantly, he's the one that brought the weapon to the scene, and he could have walked away because his life wasn't at threat until the weapon was exposed. But anyway, we'll see how this whole thing plays out. It's just, in my opinion, it's a prelude to that there is something going on in the Zimmerman's household, and I would pray that we can get to the bottom of it sooner than later, and especially sooner than something happens to his family. Don't want it to turn into a mass murder, another OJ type situation. Definitely don't want to see that. Last thing I will talk about, again, it is September 11th. It's unfortunately, we can't undo the damage that happened, September 11, 2001. We are forever stained by the acts of, be it terrorists, whatever, if it was Al-Qaeda, whomever hit towers and took the lives of over 3,000 individuals, our brothers and sisters and loved ones. We can't undo that, but I just want to take a minute and I wanted to just ask the Lord to keep those families safe. The stress and frustration that they've had to endure since that horrible day is something that, unless we had family members there at the World Trade Center, we would not be able to imagine what those families have endured. And they carry that every day. I pray that the souls that were lost on that awful day, that those souls are resting in peace. And for the perpetrators, it is not always about so much getting revenge. I think it's more important that, justice is served. And we have fought 2 wars and possibly getting ready to enter a 3rd war, trying to undo the damage, from 9/11. And it is, for me, as a soldier, former soldier, who was on active duty at that time, I was deployed to Korea. I witnessed firsthand the stress that it put on the military and the soldiers, and trying to figure out what role we would play, what would be the end state. America is a great country. We have so much more potential. We don't need tragic events to pull us together or to bring us closer as a nation. We don't need to wait till once a year, and only think about the lives that are lost with tragic events. We need to reflect on that on a daily basis, as I'm sure the family members who were affected by September 11 or 9/11, as they reflect on a daily basis. That's what we need to do, and that's the same mentality that we need to employ in making this final decision, whether we go into Syria or not, be it airstrike or boots on the ground, whatever should be required. Our actions, there are consequences and repercussions in the things that we decide, our leaders decide, should I say. And so I support whatever is going to keep this nation safe, but we do not want to be perceived or looked at around the world as tyrants and individuals, or a nation that goes in, for ulterior motives and financial gain and so forth. So if we're truly concerned with humanity's sake, we should get involved in any, not just Syria, but anything that threatens our way of life. As I said before, I love this country. I will always do everything that I can to ensure that this nation stays one of the greatest on the face of this earth. We talked in our conspiracy theory episode about some of the changes that may be occurring from a global perspective. But at the end of the day, on September 11, 2013, we are still the United States, the greatest nation on the face of this earth. And we should continue to not beat our chests and act like we're superior to everyone else, but we should hold our heads high and be proud of the great nation that we are. This is your boy Phantom. As always, keeping it 100. We out.